pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we can stay standing for just a moment and remember all our folks in all the armed services and any conflicts or craziness that's going on in the world. Also remember our emergency services and any folks who passed locally since our last meeting. Thank you. So welcome everybody to our December 1st Village Board meeting. We are continuing two public hearings that were left open at the last meeting. So I don't need a motion in a second to open them, they're already open. Reopen it? Okay. So I need a motion to, we'll do one at a time. We're going to do a public hearing on amending the zoning law of the Village of Highland Falls. So I need a motion and a second for that.
Motion to reopen the hearing on amending the zoning law.
Motion by Trustee Ramus, seconded by Trustee Gargiulo. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, so it's a public hearing on amending the zoning law for the Village of Highland Falls.
Misunderstanding,
Sure, come on up in the corner there.
You know we love you.
And yep.
Ron Malka, Perry Avenue. You know, there was a comment the last time about somebody who doesn't live in behind Main Street saying, 55 feet is okay. You know, I'd like to see a balloon test, but when you walk around Church, Lake Street, all the way up the hill to Kleitz, 55 feet is a lot, 54 feet is a lot. And what I would like to see is, if there's a parapet, that there be setbacks on the parapet from the top of the building, so it takes away the mass of what's been proposed. And I'd also like to see that the change that was made years ago, I think in 2019, 2020, for the Minicozy project, so that he needed more room space to develop, that the rear setback was moved from 20 feet to 15. I'd like to see that put back to 20, because this is a long area from Thayer Gate to Dale, and it would be really intruding on all the property behind Main Street, behind the business district. That's just a couple of my thoughts. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we did reduce it too. I think we did reduce it, but we're not touching setbacks in this. Anybody else? Okay, we're going to keep it open, I think, till the 15th of December will be our next meeting. We have a workshop in between that. We probably won't take public comment at that workshop, just because it's a good time for us as a board to talk together about the changes. But we'll have there'll be a third opportunity from the public at the 15th meeting, which I hope that there'll be the meeting that we vote on this. So we're
I
gonna...
can ask one question?
Sure.
I know at the, there was a proposal for for Orange County to do a study on the Main Street one-way.
Mhm.
Is there anything moving forward with that?
Not that it relates to the zoning, but they're waiting for that budget to open up. So I've had one conversation with Alan Thornton, who's the Commissioner of Planning for the county, and he knows that we're interested in that, those dollars to do that study. So as soon as it's available to us, we're on the top of the list.
And I would just like, if I may, I'd just like to just make comment, if I may,
Absolutely.
that I'm actually, I'm personally steadfast in extending zoning approvals that would allow our developers to determine the need or provide the minimum, or provide the minimum 55-foot variance to accommodate mechanical systems, desirable ceiling heights, and first floor amenity spaces, rather than requiring commercial uses that may lead to unoccupied, non-visible foot traffic. And I'm just making that footnote. Thank you.
And just for the public and everybody else, the max height we're going to on this is 50 on this proposed law, so just keep that in mind. But I don't need a motion to close, we're just going to keep it open until the 15th. Motion
to adjourn it to a date certain, which is the 15th.
Okay, so I need a motion to adjourn the public hearing till December 15th, where we'll reopen it again.
Thank you.
Motion?
Motion by trustee Olivia, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Ramus, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
I want to know why we're stopping at 50, when, if it's going to be, say, 13 feet for the commercial downstairs and 10 foot for each floor. You put 4 floors on top of that, it makes it 53 feet. Why is it so important to stop it at 50 feet?
because that's what we figured out when we all were hashing it out at the one meeting, and we all gave in suggestions on what we wanted to change, parapets and all this other stuff. So we're at 50 feet right now. That's where we're at.
Can we do something about it?
Not on this law, we can't. We'd have to throw it out. I can't go above 50, I can only go below 50.
You have to recirculate.
That was also the recommended height to stay within from the fire chief.
Correct. So, we could take another stab at it down the road, but I think right now, 50 feet is where we're at, and let's see if we can get a shovel in the ground before we start raising any more heights in this community.
How tall's Hoffman's?
I don't know exactly how tall Hoffman's is, but probably 40 feet. Then what is it?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say it's 40.
If you walk inside, bottom floor is probably 15. You've been upstairs, you're both 15.
Okay, but the building's not 55 feet.
No, it's probably 50.
Okay, so that would fit perfect in this law.
Same with the Park Restaurant.
There's no way the Park Restaurant's 55 feet, maybe at the top peak.
No, it's not 55. The park is probably 50.
I would find that very hard to believe.
Well, if you remember the old park, the bottom floor was about 15, and it takes you 3 steps to get in.
I'm sorry, I'm not that old, I can't help you there.
Well, that's the way it was set up. I'd say it's about 50 feet.
All right, but we could talk more about it at our work session. Yeah.
I don't see why we're so offended by 55 feet.
I don't think anybody's offended by 55 feet. I don't think I haven't, we've been we could discuss it at the workshop. That's what I would do. So if you're opposed, then it's 4-1, the motion passes. I need a motion and a second to open the public hearing on the permitting and regulating of short-term rental properties within 1- and 2-family homes.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Gargiulo,
Second.
motion seconded by trustee Carroll. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. So at this time, the public hearing is continuing from the previous meeting we had in regards to short-term rentals. Does anybody have any comments regarding that? And that, we'll follow the same suit. I'll ask for a motion to continue that to the 15th meeting, and then we'll discuss this local law at our workshop on the 10th, What date is that, Madam Clerk? I've been screwing these dates up for the last 2 weeks.
December 10th,
December 10th.
that's the workshop, and then December 15th is the next board meeting.
Correct. Anybody? You had something?
I thought that you were going to look into the landlord registration and put some teeth into that. This is really tying hands of single-family homeowners here. You're not going around to, like Ed Dunn said, you're not going to every home. You're only going to homes of people who rent their places.
Right, that's correct.
I don't know how prudent that is, but
Anybody else? And again, we're going to discuss this at the December 10th meeting for our workshop. And as I stated at the last meeting, that this law is probably at the maximum, and we'll probably make some adjustments so that it's not as intrusive as was commented at the last meeting. But as I also commented at the last meeting, 95% of the folks in that room would never be, aren't the issue necessarily. It's the folks who we do potentially might have an issue with down the road. I have no mechanism to revoke a permit, anything of that nature, to hold those folks accountable, all right? So that's the purpose of this legislation. Yes, Mr. Wells? Do you have a comment? You want to come on up? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Love the hat. Good. I like when you're close.
So the understanding I have is you're concerned that you don't have any teeth to enforce violations.
I didn't say that. I just said, that was said.
Okay. I think it's not a simple matter of just looking at short-term rentals, because anybody can have a party in town. You know, you hear about it all the time in the news, where parents go out of town and their children invite a couple of friends, and before they know it, they have a rave party there. So I think you need a general issue on how do you deal with your unruly occupancy. And that's whether it's a private homeowner or a short-term rental or anybody, is that the police department and the mayor have, and the board have some kind of enforcement options. The other thing I was looking at is, I don't know if you plan on changing or if this has been edited, the exempting some short-term rentals because they're of limited use versus regular short-term rentals seems to me to violate the general intention of it. That a short-term rental, still you may have 50 of them that rent for a couple of occasions, maybe ring day, maybe graduation, maybe maybe four or five options. Now you've imposed a tax on these properties, and if you exempt that from the short-term rental, how are you going to collect the revenue from all those short-term rentals? And graduation week for a home gets anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. 5% of that's a significant amount of revenue for the village. I think the idea of exempting them is unfair to the people who do maybe 10 times a year instead of 5 times a year. And then the other piece of it is if you exempt certain properties, you don't have insurance. So a regular homeowner's policy doesn't cover a short-term rental. And a lot of people don't even realize that. So they're exposing themselves, and I think that's an issue that you need to look at. I've got some other comments on it, but I'll save them for the next time. Those are the things that really stood out to me when I reviewed this. Thanks very much.
Anybody else? Okay, just a couple quick comments in regards to this. I think the spirit of the tax won't apply to anything that gets exempted in this particular legislation. If you're on the Airbnb site and you go through the registration of that, that's where those folks will get hit with that tax. And as a couple members of the community got up at the last meeting, they made a comment, well, I live in the house, so owner occupied for me would be a big thing. Like if you live in the house and you rent a room out, it's a little different for me. If you live in the house 90% of the year and you rent it out 10% of the year, that also is a little different for me. These are primarily for habitual situations where in other communities like Warwick or Goshen and other villages are experiencing a lot of LLCs coming in and buying properties. They're having folks who are out of town buy a lot of properties. And we need a mechanism to say, hey, you're not keeping up with the property. Hey, you're not keeping up with this. You're not keeping up with that. And I need to be able to revoke that permit. So as we get into this law and look at it, there are laws already on the books for that type of scenario if someone was having a party that got unruly. I have noise ordinances that would get affected. Your neighbors can call the police department, they would show up and shut it down. So I have stuff for that, but this goes a little deeper to that. And again, it's not for folks who do the right thing, but I can't exclude folks who do the right thing. I have to include everybody. But again, if you live in town and you own another property, or you live in the same house, or you own or occupied property, for me, that's a little different. Some folks need to do that to offset some of their expenses. I understand that. I'm cognizant of that. But I don't want to say it's running rampant right now, maybe because our size, it could feel that way sometimes. But in other communities, it's run rampant. And I'm talking about very successful, economic developed villages, Warwick, Goshen. These are just two examples of where this is getting out of control. And Warwick and Village of Cornwall spent a lot of time looking into these laws. That's why we mirrored this law. And I just don't want us to be in a situation where it becomes completely out of hand without having something on the books. So this is at its extreme, this law right here, which we talked about. As we get to the workshop, there's going to be a lot of suggestions to try to reduce this a little bit to make it easier for the homeowners, especially the homeowners that live in this community. And I think as a board, we're cognizant of that. But we're also cognizant that we may have the potential for some issues going down the road. And that's where this stemmed from. So I just need, if there's any other comments from the board.
I do have one comment. I think the exemptions come from the people that are off the scale, that are doing like private rentals. I think that's where the exemption becomes. Exemptions also become in actual hotels, because there are exemptions for veterans, there's exemptions for government officials, this and that. I think our issue has become is that we have made, as a village, we've made ourselves aware that there are short-term rentals that aren't sanctioned. And from a safety standpoint, we have to set some sort of code for that, because if something does devastatingly happen, who's liable for that? We can't say, we've become complicit in something that isn't really sanctioned. So when we talk about toning down the safety aspect codes of this, absolutely, but putting in some sort of permit fees that can be revoked if these safety codes are not adhered to, and putting in place a village code officer, because there is no way to really enforce this without a village code officer. And as, to the mayor's point, at one point, he said, the town does not service us in that aspect. So those are the things that we're really looking at with this. We can't be complicit in something that's not sanctioned, and we need to put some sort of parameters in place to enforce.
Annie, did you have something?
I'm sorry, I just wanted to know, at the next meeting, will you be accepting public comments, or?
Probably
it's a
not.
workshop?
The board really needs to get a hold of this, and I think, speaking to them individually, there's a lot of different changes they might want to make, and then we'll have a revised edition that we'll have to have so that we can have it for the meeting on the 15th. Keep in mind that there won't be any more additions to this law than there already is. Like I said, it's at its maximum, so we would only reduce what was in place now. That's just the rule. It's not my rule, because we did put this out to the public already, so they're aware of that. So some things will probably come out, I would most likely think.
Okay, and I appreciate you looking into other communities like Warwick and Cornwall, and we do not compare to any of those communities. They can lean on their industrial taxes, they can lean on their population. We need tourism. If you slap the hand of every person that wants to come, whether they want to visit West Point or anyone, it just makes little sense to me going forward. We need more than any of those other communities you mentioned. So I just want you to be aware of those things.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, and I don't think doing this will have any effect whatsoever on what you just said.
I beg to differ.
1,000% no. It will not. Okay, so I just need a motion that we're moving the meeting to, anybody else have anything?
If anybody has written comments that they
Yeah, we'll
want to
take-
get
yeah,
to us,
absolutely.
please get them to us, we will accept them as well.
Yeah.
We have 2 hours of the public hearing at the last meeting where we have a lot of comments that we are digesting and we're going to consider as well.
Thank you.
So I just need a motion and a second to move it till the 15th of December.
Motion.
So a motion by trustee Gardjulo, is there a second?
Second?
Second by trustee Olivia, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And before I do the due process hearing for 11 Eagle Valley Road, I just want to shout out to a special guest we have, Grady Robinson, who's working on his Troop 23 Citizen in the Community Merit Badge. Stand up for a second, Grady. Give him a round of applause, please. And I thank the public for being extra nice tonight, as we have a young fellow in here learning his ways about citizenship and citizenry in the community, so thank you for coming tonight. So I have a due process hearing on 11 Eagle Valley Road, and I think there is someone from that property, Mr. Francis?
Yes.
Okay,
Look at him behind the corner.
so if there's no motion or second to open, are we all, is everything taken care of up there? or-
It will be, I just returned yesterday.
Okay.
It'll be done before the next board meeting,
Okay,
so it's up to you how you want to handle it.
all right, so you think by the 10th or the 15th?
The 15th is the meeting,
I have one on the 10th and I have one on the 15th.
do the 15th just to be sure.
Okay.
It'll be done before the 10th.
Board, you okay with that?
Sure.
So you'll motion to table this matter until 12:15?
Okay, so I just need a motion to table to the December 15th meeting, and if it's rectified, it'll just,
Motion to table the violation for 11 Eagle Valley Road until the 15th meeting
okay.
of
And I
December.
can I get a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you.
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
No problem. Okay. So real quick, just want to welcome everybody to the meeting. I know we had Thanksgiving, and there was a lot to be thankful for this year. I'd like to thank all the village employees, whether it's DPW, the police department, or the folks in Village Hall. We're doing more with less, and I do appreciate that. Are there any local organizations in the room that would like to talk about something? Yeah, I've got JFS of Orange County, Senior Independence Program. You guys want to get up and have a little presentation?
Thank you so much for having us.
No problem.
I'll turn it this way so I can address everybody. I'm Paula Blumenau, Community Outreach and Volunteer Engagement, and this is Nikki Roncini, our Executive Director. So we're really happy to be here. I was actually just here in the town just right before Thanksgiving to visit the center and speak to the folks over there and really just share some information about what we do. And then I took a little walk along Main Street and visited the library. And I remember just a few years ago, we had gotten a call from a neighbor here in in Highland Falls who was looking for regular weekly transportation to get to a treatment, a regular treatment. And we had quite a challenge to find a volunteer. And so I came and started pounding the pavement to share some information about the program and to seek a volunteer who would be able to help out. And it took, I remember, probably about 6 weeks of, reaching out in the community to find someone. But we did, and that was just felt like a really, one of those beautiful peacock feathers in my hat, to be able to find a volunteer to be able to help this gentleman get to his treatments. And so that was a success. Since that time, we've had just a few neighbors in the community who have reached out to us. And we have had 1 or 2 volunteers who have been steady in the community. But we really feel like it's time to get back to this community and reach out, because we know that there is some great need out here. And we'd like to be able to be a part of the solution. So I've put together some information for you. I just want to share a little bit about JFS in general. The Senior Independence Program is just one part of what we do. And I thank you again, Mayor, for inviting us to share information with the community. So JFS, we're located in the town of Walk Hill. We are a non-for-profit organization. The basis of what JFS started as was an organization designed to support the Jewish community. Now, over the course of almost 40 years, actually over 40 years we've been in existence, we've grown and expanded. We've opened our doors to the entire community. We partner with Office for the Aging as well as the Jewish community to provide the programs that we do. Our signature program is our Senior Independence Program, where seniors over 60 can request a ride by a volunteer to provide them with transportation to an essential appointment or regular appointments on a regular basis. Our volunteers also provide, beside the transportation, that is, it's not urgent transportation, it's not emergent transportation, it's regular requested for things like therapies, treatments, regular ongoing visits, testing. This isn't, I need a ride today, I am sick, I need to get to the doctor. Okay, it's planned, our volunteers have time, they can schedule it. So the Senior Independence Program provides transportation, help with grocery shopping, and also provides friendly visits and wellness calls. Now, this program was previously referred to as the Friendly Visitor Program. So many of you, I see a couple of heads nodding. The program is name changed last year as we turned 40, recognizing that we really were supporting the senior community to remain independent and in their own homes. We hear so often from communities, from villages and towns, that their seniors are having to move out of their communities because there isn't enough support. No matter what we do, we believe, as in our villages and our towns, I live in the town of Walk Hill, Nikki lives in Newburgh. We hear that we want there to be services. But not everybody knows that the services are there, knows where to find them, and the services may not be readily available. So by giving our seniors the support that they need, they're staying in their homes that much longer, remaining in their towns. They're happy, the towns are happy, the villages are happy. So transportation, grocery shopping, and visits are really the tip of the iceberg. Those are the first supports that people need when they are facing the issue of remaining independent. Having to depend on family members can be difficult. Having to depend on their neighbors can be a challenge, their friends. So we're there to meet that gap. Beyond that, we then go to the next level of support, which is case management. Case management provides help with transitions, changes in the home, finding home health aides and support in the home, not only physical, but also not only physical being a person maybe supporting, but also the equipment that might be needed in order to help somebody continue that independence. But we're also providing memory care, and we're also helping caregivers to support the needs of their parents or siblings that they may be caring for. So that is our case management program. We also are now expanding beautifully, I might add. We have some wonderful counselors and therapists that have joined JFS and are providing that really necessary mental health. And we've been hearing these buzz, what I'm talking about, transportation, big buzz. Mental health, big buzz, right? You're hearing about it now in Orange County, that we need these supports. So we're now addressing that a little deeper, providing the counselors and reaching out either in person or by telehealth. The case management, also helping with transitions. We're also providing, one of the services that we have been getting requests for is food security. So huge over Thanksgiving, right? We heard about all of the food that was delivered and shared among through our food banks and through our food pantries. Many of our volunteers were helpful in delivering that food to the neighbors who were in need, and we're very proud of that. Being able to feed Orange County is a huge goal for us. So all of these social service tasks that are being done with the support of Office for the Aging, with through our partners, and through amazing volunteers who live in the communities that need the support. If anyone is interested in volunteering, because many of our services, especially in the Senior Independence Program, are volunteer-based, I'd love to talk to you about it, how easy it is to become a volunteer, and also to be able to volunteer once a week, once a month, once a year. I actually was at the center for about 2 hours, and I have 2 new volunteers. So it's pretty, when we ask for help, it's there. I think that the biggest challenge is finding the avenues to ask for the help from the community. So that's where there is a list of organizations that I would love to connect with. Here, I will be speaking with our seniors in the village, in the town of Highlands, hopefully both senior clubs out there. Definitely the Highlanders. I'll be, I believe, in January. So, we're trying to get the word out about what services are available and how to get the services if you need it. And if you'd like to volunteer, for sure, reach out to me. In the back, I left Heidi. Actually, Heidi and I worked together for several years at JFS. So we're happy to reconnect here in the village. And so she has some information back there if anybody would like to take a flyer just to see what we do, all of the services. The last thing I want to share is that everything that we do is at no cost to our seniors. So our case management, our Senior Independence Program, our counseling can be done at no cost. So that's an additional benefit. So are there any questions? All right.
We have the pamphlet we can leave at Village Hall too.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Vicki,
Well, I
anything?
just wanted to let you know that we have a program here, it's called Hello Dinner. We've been doing the same type of thing, and I think that's how you and Heidi connected, where we have neighbors, checking in on neighbors.
Wonderful.
making dinners, and just saying hello, and it is hard to get volunteers. I have three seniors right now that really need check-ins every, 2 days or
Right.
so. Jeanette Scott's here, she's involved with the senior center, and I think you can connect with her to try to get this program going in conjunction with ours, and thank you so much. It's so important.
Thank you. That's
Connect with our
wonderful.
Individuals with disabilities. I have a couple of people who are living at home with disabilities that are blind or just need like those extra supports.
Yes.
So I am so happy to have you here, and I'm glad to connect with you, and I hope we can really coordinate this meeting.
Thank you.
Big here.
Thank you. I will be back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it,
Yes,
thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Any elected officials or newly elected officials? Have anything? All right. Public comment on agenda items. Okay. Put this over here, we did this. I've got warrant number 2507 for fiscal year 25-26 in the total amount of $145,703.85, which includes prepaids of $790.27. I need a motion, second, to approve the bills and claims. Motion by trustee Gargiulo,
Second.
seconded by trustee Ramus. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. I also have minutes from our November 3rd meeting, which I think you've all had to be able to review. I need a motion and a second to approve those.
Motion to approve?
Motion by trustee Olivia, seconded by
Second.
trustee Ramus. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. We took care of number 2. He's going to come back on the thing. We did the minutes. I've got a budget transfer for fiscal year 25-26 for the general fund for general workman's comp. Whereas the December 1st, 2025 Village Board meeting, the Village Board approved the budget transfer from general fund to workers' compensation. Now therefore be resolved that the following budget transfer in the amount of $1,608.17 be approved from Chase General Fund 7927 to NCA Comp Workers' Compensation 0658. Motion by
Motion.
trustee Ramus, seconded by
Second.
trustee Gargiulo. Roll call.
Trustee Olivia?
Yes.
Trustee Ramus?
Yay.
Trustee Carroll?
Yes.
Trustee Gargiulo?
Yes.
Mayor DeSalvo?
Yes. Motion passes. Okay, the next is a bond resolution for the Village of Highland Falls, New York, adopted December 1st, 2025, authorizing construction of improvements to Bog Meadow Dam, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $2 million, appropriating said amount for such purpose, and authorizing the issuance of bonds in the principal amount of $2 million to finance said appropriation. This goes along with the $2 million grant that we received, of which eventually we will be on the hook for 20%. Again, we are just authorizing it tonight. So I need a motion and a second, and I need 4 positive votes in order to move this along.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Ramus,
Second.
seconded by trustee Carroll. Any additional questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Olivia?
Yes.
Trustee Ramus?
Yay.
Trustee Carroll?
Yes.
Trustee Gargiulo?
Yes.
Mayor DeSalvo?
Yes. Okay, thank you very much for that. We don't want to lose out on that grant, so we need to get that done this month. The second resolution is in regards to, I would say, Water Project Phase 2, which again, this whole project, which included Ondara Park and Cragston, which I will consider the southern part of the village, was talked about and discussed, I believe, 2 administrations ago. So we are in the process of keeping the contractor that did the work, who bid the work originally, who did the work on Ondara Park, and in talking with the engineer, if we were to lose that contractor, we'll have to rebid it, and it'll probably be 500,000 plus more we'll have to deal with. So I think it behooves us to move forward with the authorization so that we can keep the contractor. He knows that we're serious about moving forward with this. God bless you. And then when we have hard figures, we'll look at it as a board, and then we'll go from authorized to issued if we so decide. So this is a bond resolution of the Village of Highland Falls, New York, adopted December 1st, 2025, authorizing the construction of improvements to the village water system, Phase 2, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $3 million, appropriating said amount for such purpose, and authorizing the issuance of bonds in the principal amount of $3 million to finance said appropriation. Again, this is a authorization. So I need a motion and a second for this resolution as well.
I'll make the motion. I think it's a good thing that we can hold that price. Sad we didn't have it done sooner.
Yeah. Seconded by
Second?
trustee Olivia. Any questions, concerns, comments? If none, we will move forward with a roll call.
Trustee Olivia?
Yes.
Trustee Remus?
Yay.
Trustee Carroll?
Yes.
Trustee Gardula?
Yes.
Mayor DeSalvo?
Yes. Okay, motion passes. We have to approve for the month of December, covering the meters. This has been done for as long as I can remember. It's to promote more commerce on Main Street for the month of December. They have been covered, so I just need a motion, a second, and approval for that.
Motion, no tickets for me.
Motion by trustee Gargiulo, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Olivia. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And just so everybody knows, first of the year, you can go downstairs, and it's up in Village Hall, and get a permit. They're relatively cheap, and you can put that sticker on your window, and you will not get a ticket.
I think that's for seniors.
I know, I felt like he was talking to me.
No,
Well,
there's a senior one.
I didn't wanna-
There's one that anybody.
You know, I didn't want to bring it up because we had to, but there may be one or two members of the board that might need, you may need to, just make sure you have their, card. Luckily, there's a couple of us that might have 20 years to go or 15 years to go before we hit 60, so. Public comment on anything at all?
May I just
Yes, ma'am. You have to come up, though. You had 2 times now, you didn't come up. You gotta come up, put the whole show on, get the mic.
May I just ask that between now and the 10th, that you perhaps look into communities that semi-represent us for what they do with their short-term rentals?
Absolutely.
I know you're not adding, but
No, absolutely. Anything else, public comment? Anything at all? Sure, come on up, Ron.
I don't know the village code. I mean, it was mentioned not too long ago by a trustee about going over the codes, the housing codes. I'd like to ask about the lighting codes. And I see new lights on the senior center on all night long. There's 3 lights. They have to be 250 watts each. It's got to be costing us a fortune. Now, I live on Parry, but if I lived on Drew, I'd really be upset. But I'm on Parry, and I look out the window, and I got a bright light looking at me. Well, I don't understand why these lights were put up so bright, so long, overnight. Can you look into it?
Yeah, sure, they're LED lights, so they're very low wattage. And we actually got some complaints from the homeowners in that area in regards to, cars being parked in there, people hanging out in the lot, so we put those lights up. I haven't gotten a complaint from anybody whose lights face, or whose homes face it. In fact, the 1 or 2 homes that I did speak to, they like them. But if they were too bright, we could figure out how to dim them. But like I said, they are LEDs, so they're low energy, low cost.
And on sensors.
And yeah, but I do
They are on
believe, yeah, they are, and they go off during the day.
Yeah, they go off during the day.
Yeah. Yeah,
Most of those lights do have settings for, high and low
Yeah.
and whatnot,
Yeah.
so that's something to look at for sure.
yeah.
And also, if it truly is too bright and there are a lot of complaints, we can get a shield that we can put on them as well.
Yeah, but there are,
A shield, though, just so it's.
It directs it
it's
down.
Directing it down instead of out
Correct, sir.
yeah,
would be good. Thank you for listening.
You're welcome.
sure. Anybody else, public comment? None? Well, okay. Not complaining. I like hearing from the public, Mr. Wells. I'm not afraid of it.
I think you ran them too long last meeting, so.
Oh, did I? Got to hear from the public, it's very important. Okay, liaison reports, trustee Olivia. There's a lot going on, so I hope you're covering most of it.
Thanks for putting me on the spot.
You're welcome.
I'll start with the building department report for November. We had 11 permit applications received, 12 permits were issued, 8 certificates of compliance, 1 certificate of occupancy, 30 building permit inspections, no fire safety inspections, 9 violation notices were issued, 3 violations were closed out, 2 municipal searches were completed, nothing for zoning variance applications, nothing for planning board applications, and 8 FOIL requests. And not too much from me tonight, but as we quickly approach the winter season, I'd like to share just a few reminders. When we are expecting snowflakes in the forecast, residents are asked to remove all vehicles from the streets to allow our trucks to clear the snow in its entirety. The village offers a few municipal parking areas to assist with that provision. Residents are also responsible for keeping the sidewalks alongside your property clear of snow. We have kids who walk to school, folks who walk to work, even on our coldest days. And while you're out there clearing cars and driveways, please remember not to push snow back into the street. That adds a lot of work to our plowing crew, and not only is all of this in our code, but everyone following the same guidelines is how we keep things running smoothly for us all. So let's be diligent and work together throughout the winter season. And on our really cold days, make sure to check on your neighbors. And if you have fire hydrants in your area, make sure to keep those clear as well. This week we have some fun things going on. Friday we have the parade, holiday parade that'll start at Buffalo Soldiers Field down to Memorial Park and will be followed by the annual tree lighting. And Saturday, December 6th, we have the Highlands Holiday Hop, the Auxiliary Vendor Fair, the Holy Innocents Penny Social, the Highland Falls Library and Friends Fun. So lots of good things going on this weekend, and all of that will be followed up Monday, December 8th, Town Board meeting, 7 p.m., Town Hall. Is there anything else?
Excellent. Well, we'll catch you, I'm sure. I'm going to move around a little bit, so we're going to do trustee
All right,
Carroll
if I
next.
forgot anything, go for it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The water report.
Grab the mic, Mr. Carroll.
The water report, the daily water usage was down to 425,000 gallons per day. That's a big savings there. We found another leak that was about 50,000 gallons a day. So I was talking with the mayor about this before, I remember when I started a year and a half ago, the water usage was $800,000. There we go. 800,000 gallons a day. So when we talk about, if they build motels and stuff like that, I personally think we will have enough water. We were using 800,000 and with no complications. We never ran out of water during that time. The daily water report, it was, all daily operations were normal for the first 2 days. Then they did a dig out on Goodsell. That's on the other side of the highway there. They did another, checked the water quality at 134 Mearns. Water was within the parameters. They did a closed up the Bog Meadow valve, did a dig mark out on 11 Lake Street. All the other days were normal. As far as outstanding issues or concerns, in-house water pump has been ordered. Town of Highlands water usage average was 60,000 gallons a day. That's good too. That's for the town. Inspected homes for lead lines as they got the calls. So we wanted to let you know that if you suspect you have the lead lines still in the ground in your area, to make a phone call and the water department will respond and check it out for you. Water levels at 57%. Now, that raised up since the last reading last week. So things are coming back. We're starting to see forecasts for rain. Snow's coming. It'll all help increase. Lower Bog, the spillway is flowing. Jim's Pond, the spillway is average, and the valve is open. Water at the 9W reservoir is over the east side of the dam. So the weeks ahead, we have a main control panel for the PLC project has been approved. I called and they will start to work in mid-December. The backwash pump has been ordered 10 to 11 weeks out. Continued water meter installations this week coming up. Continue inspection of homes with the lead service lines. Also install the new house water pump. And that's it for the water department this week, but things still, look good. Thank you.
And before I move on to the next trustee, I just want to add that if you feel like you might have a lead line, if you want to just take a picture of the pipe that comes into your house, you can email us, or if you want to print it out, bring it into Village Hall. We can usually tell by looking at it. It's part of this whole unfunded mandate that Albany sent down. Albany's very good at sending down unfunded mandates, but it comes down to local costs to have people come out and inspect your house. So if you guys can help us with that, we all got a notice in the mail with our water bill. So the pipe coming into your house, usually it goes right to your meters, the next spot. If you just snap a picture, you can email us, you can email the village clerk, or I believe there's an actual dedicated email address, info@highlandfallsny.org. So you can just take a picture and email us direct, just give us the address of your home. And that way we can just register it, because, as I said, Albany wants to know what kind of lead, what kind of pipes you have coming into your house. So it's funny, certain sections are copper, certain sections are galvanized, but we do have quite a few that do have the lead in there. And even in some homes that when we were doing the water project in Ondeora Park, we notified the homeowner that it was lead, and they were just like, yeah, it's fine. So, I guess it's to each his own. But if you could just notify us, because we have to show that we are doing so much percentages each year for a period of time. So I appreciate everyone that's looking into that for us. Trustee Gargiulo.
I just wanted to add that there was a couple of issues, Dr. Facebook again saying we wanted people to crawl into their basements and find out about their, and take pictures here and find about their lead pipes. If you really do have an issue getting down there and you can't find it, you can call the Village Hall and somebody will come and help you out with that. Dale has been very helpful with that. There have been a couple of things. There was a water main leak repair on Walnut Avenue. They opened for repair, backfilled excavation, and compacted with a tamper. We've been working on, there have been other complaints about leaf collection. We've been working very diligently on the leaf collection. The upcoming snowstorm kind of waylaid us on that because we had to work on some equipment to really get us snow ready. But we will continue after the storm to really do that collection. Other than that, we've been working on decorating for Christmas, things of that nature. One thing I did want to introduce, and I don't know how to introduce what I want, how to really introduce this, talking about water and surcharges and things like that. I've spoken to our mayor about this, about filling our pools with water and actually having a sub-meter at the village that we can actually take out and designate that to how much water we're filling into our pools, if you have a pool leak or something of that nature, and deducting that from our sewer bill. So it's something that other communities do, and it's something I want to introduce and discuss upcoming summer and spring. That's if you have a pool that has to have a new liner and you have to refill, it would be a one-time thing. Your pool would have to be permitted, with the building inspector, and it would just be a one-time deduction on your sewer. So that's something that I've been looking into. In happier news, and great things, I talked to Rick Minicuzzi about decorating the church that he's set to redesign. And he's donated to Vision to have that done for Christmas, so that's super exciting. Community Connections is doing their first time ever holiday light contest for homes throughout the community, and we have a couple of contest prizes for that. One is a what do you call that? The mystery. The mystery room.
Escape room.
The escape room, I apologize, thank you. One is for escape room for 4, and one is actually really a cool thing if you have kids with sensory issues. One's for a cat toy party, cat toy making party for 4, and that's through Beacon Besties. So it's cool. We just want to encourage people to decorate their homes and get excited for Christmas like we used to do. The new joint chamber will be meeting tomorrow at 6:30 at what's to be the new Kelly's Cafe, and that's super exciting on Main Street where the old IGA used to be. And I don't think I really had anything else. Thank you.
I know sometimes our news editor thinks that this room is an escape room.
Yeah.
It often feels like it, yes.
I know, I thought I would throw that in there. Trustee Ramus.
For November, the sewer treatment plant, the daily flow down there was about 695,000 gallons a day, which is substantial considering we only have 1.8 inches of rain. We're still getting a lot of I&I infiltration into the system. It's a lot more than is coming out of the water plant. Again, I'm just going to ask that people be diligent in getting down to their sump pumps and making sure they go outside, either onto their lawn or to the nearest catch basin. This way we don't have to pay to clean that particular water. They continue to do their regular maintenance down there on all the equipment. Pump stations were all checked. They are up and running well. The weekly process for samples have all been sent out to the DEC lab. They have done general maintenance, gear oil changes and things like that on the RPC units. They've pumped out the belt press lift station, which is relatively new. It's glad to hear that they're working on that. It's saving us a lot of money. They also rebuilt one recycle pump, and they're looking at and evaluating another pump down there for the same purpose. I was glad to see some of the people that were at the previous meeting show up at the Consolidated Planning Board. So we're going to find out what's going on in the village. The things that they had on their agenda were 479 Main Street. That's the hotel. That is the old PenFed building. They gave them an extended conditional approval that goes through March. He needs to continue to work on the conditions of approval because he's going to lose his grandfather approval in August of next year. So he's working on that, and we'll see how far he gets. He also talked about the Grace Baptist Church, or they also talked about the Grace Baptist Church. It's not the same owner, and they're looking to purchase a piece of land next to the church down there because they have some larger events and they're looking for some additional parking. I think it was well accepted. It just depends how creative they can be on how they can actually make that work down there. I gave them a couple of tidbits of knowledge that I have on how they can do that. Whether they're going to be allowed, though, is going to be up to the attorney. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to the Army football team. They won last week, Saturday. Does make them bowl eligible. And most importantly is they are playing Navy real soon. So go Army, beat Navy.
Hey, you're right. Tough loss for Army what was it, a week ago? 2 weeks ago? Oh, man, I went to that game and tough to watch. I mean, they really, tough to watch, to lose by 1. A couple quick things. DPW and snow removal, I spoke to John Jones, our street superintendent, and just to add what trustee Gardullo said, we are ready for the storm tomorrow that luckily keeps getting downgraded, but it is that time of year. We did purchase some salt, so we have our salt prepared for this winter, and hopefully it's a mild one. As trustee Olivia mentioned, the tree lighting and parade is this Friday. Please come out and join us. I heard some rumblings of Santa Claus maybe coming. I'm not 100% sure, but I know he's busy this time of year. But he may be coming for that. And also the Saturday holiday hop. And also this past Saturday was Small Business Saturday. I know there was a few businesses on Main Street that had all kinds of open houses, and kudos to them. I heard they were very successful. A shout out to the food pantries, especially even though we're a small community, we have a couple different food pantries, Holy Innocents, Sacred Heart Church. Kudos to them. I know they got in contact with the Hudson Valley Food Bank. I know they worked on getting turkeys. In fact, I was the third person to call for turkeys, so, we got a lot of turkeys. So I appreciate all those folks that are involved in those food pantries, and it's good to see that we help each other. I mentioned at the last meeting that Mearns Avenue has now been completed. That's all, that project is done. It's been paved. We also sent up one of the trucks that clear out the catch basins. I wanted to just make sure everything was draining properly. They sucked the catch basins out, jetted some lines too to make sure everything was nice and clear. Those folks have been waiting a long time for that project, even before we had the flood. So I'm glad that that is done. I got some Santa letters from kids in the community. So, I do have a direct line to him, so if you can keep them coming, that would be great. It's a tradition that's been going on for some time. Previous Mayor D'Onofrio started that or continued it, and we're continuing to do that too. So he gave me the address and phone number of Santa Claus, so we get them out to him as quickly as possible. And he answers my letters a lot quicker than most. I don't know why, but so keep those coming. We appreciate that. There's a toy drive going on. You can bring it to Village Hall. I know AOG is assisting with that. Also, our village engineer is making a large donation, but you can drop toys off, unwrap toys. I would say anything from 6 months to 14, 15, 16. We're collecting those. There's also a list downstairs that you can fill out for families if you need assistance for the Christmas year. We have a coat drive from the West Point Highland Falls Rotary Club. You can drop off coats. We're still doing that drive. You can drop it off at Fort Fitness, Walk Hill Valley Federal Savings and Loan on Main Street, and also Village Hall, 303 Main Street. Also, the West Point Highland Falls Rotary will be doing bell ringing this month at Seatown. So they do that in conjunction with the Salvation Army. So they do 2 days of bell ringing, and they take those collections and they send them to Salvation Army in Middletown, which stays local. Again, a shout out to DPW. I know they're doing leaves. I know we had some people who were in desperate need to get their leaves picked up. They were very concerned about their leaves not getting picked up. They're getting picked up. So we appreciate that. And, we can't control Mother Nature, but after the snow, we'll get back to leaf pickup. Mary Jane, did you get your leaves picked up?
Yes.
Okay, good, I'm glad. And just a quick update on grants. So So far for 2025, we got approximately $205,000. That's not in addition to the grant we got in regards to Lower Bog Meadow. And just to give the board and also the public a little update on some grants that we put in for, we did Roe Park Pool and Bathhouse renovations. We submitted a grant for $800,000. And also with that grant, it's actually the New York State Department of Parks and Recreation's Historic Preservation, New York statewide invested in more swimming. It's called the SWIMS grant program. So we're very hopeful on that and doing some expansions there, fixing the bathrooms. We do not have ADA bathrooms at Roe Park for the pool, so that would take care of that. We'll do a little retaining wall there, some new entrance there, some splash pad there. So we're hoping to do some nice things at Roe Park. New York State Department of Homeland Security, we put in for one. The Gary Sinise Foundation, it's a first responders grant, and that's for another portable message board for $20,000. The New York State Division of Homeland Security Emergency Service Recruitment and Retention Grant, this will help for emergency services, that's around $3,200. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Water Quality Improvement Project, $400,000. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Water Quality Improvement Project, again, $2,240,000. AED grant we put in for 3 additional ones. So we got 2, I believe, so we're looking for more, just to put them in every municipal building that we get our hands on. We also put the U.S. Congress Community Project Funding Program for fiscal year '26, which is retaining wall resubmittal for $1.2 million. New York State Division of Homeland Security Emergency Service, they put out a lot. They put out a lot of grants. Capital improvements to fire truck storage facility, we put in for $565,000 approximately. So we constantly go after grants. Some of them don't necessarily look like they would work for us. A lot of them do, we put in for them. Do we get them all? No. We're in a pool with a lot of other communities, so we put in for as many as we can that make sense for us. And more come up as we go through the year and different timings of the year. So depending on when submittals take place, winter, fall, spring, that's usually when we do them. But the company we use is Millennium Strategies. They're with a lot of municipalities. We've had a lot of success over the years. I think they're worth it. So so the community knows and the board knows. I don't really have anything else, but again, we do have a work session on the 10th. We're expecting a presentation from a fellow who lives in town who does engineering and/or architecture. He just wants to put together a little slideshow and information packet for us just to listen to, but the primary purpose of that meeting will be the zoning law change and the short-term rental law that we'll focus on in a workshop. And then we have finally the meeting on the 15th. I don't plan on having any more meetings before Christmas, so I know our young friend here, Grady, doesn't want to come to any before Christmas, so I appreciate that. But I have nothing further, so I'll take a.
I got one more
What do you
thing,
got?
sir. So everybody knows there's speed bumps were put on the street. They were working very well, slowing the people down. They have been taken up for winter purposes for plowing. But please keep your speed to what it was when the speed bumps were.
And on the speed bumps, real quick, I think when we start paving roads, I know I've talked to a few board members about this. When we start paving roads in the future, especially on certain roads, we're probably going to be looking into putting in some kind of permanent speed bump. It won't be the ones that have the high rise and that are short. They actually are a little longer. They're a little low profile, but they have the same effect. They slow down cars on these side roads. If Mountain Avenue we just had an incident the other day. Mountain Avenue was shut down momentarily, and then we had some folks go down Fostoria Street, and like the speed is crazy. And to me, my fear, even when I first started driving, was God forbid hitting a young person or an older person, whatever. The point is that because some of these streets are narrow, a kid darts out from a car you can't see, you're never going to want to have that on your conscience for the rest of your life. We have to slow down on some of these roads. It is crazy. We're talking about lowering the speed limit in the village. I think that's a good idea too. The cops are writing tickets, 80 a month, so it's not that we're not having an enforcement issue. I need people to slow down. And one of the next laws we're going to be talking about as a board will be these motorized bikes, which seem to be a continuous issue. You don't need a license to use them. You don't need anything to use them. Village of Walden is peppered with them right now, and they're working on a great law, and we will most likely take that law, so that we don't spend as much money on their attorneys like we would, but, sorry, Elise, for that. But no, they're working on a very good law, they're going through the process now, and so we'll see how that law unfolds, but it's something that, it's, some of it's crazy, and they're on the sidewalks, they're on here, they're on there, and it's not a regular bicycle. I'm not talking about an 8-year-old kid who's going down the street on a sidewalk. Is he supposed to be on a sidewalk? Probably not, but I'd rather have an 8-year-old on a sidewalk being a little safer than having a motorized bike go flying down Main Street. It's just becoming craziness, so, all right, with that, I just need a motion.
I do have one more thing,
One
I'm
more thing.
sorry.
One more
I'm sorry, I
thing.
have one more
No
thing,
problem.
because I will need Jewish Family Services soon. And Ann Taylor's here, so maybe she can really speak to it. Nancy Ryerson up on Eagle Valley Drive every year does a holiday shop, which is absolutely wonderful. If you're looking for, I'm gonna say knickknacks, it's not even.
Stocking stuffers, anything like that.
Absolutely, and it's wonderful, and so well below cost, and she does it to support the ARC of Campbell Hall, and she does it out of the goodness of her house, her heart. She opens up her whole home, pardon me. If you just want to go in there, it looks like Santa's workshop. And what is the actual address?
It's on Eagle Valley Road. It's the last house on the
Aubrey
left.
Land, I don't
And there
know.
are big signs out in front
Yeah.
that say, "Welcome, Merry Christmas." But if you've got kids and you need to do stocking stuffers, so reasonable, so reasonable.
And they'll be on route of the holiday hop, and she's open till December 14th, and if you have sensory parameters that you want to do, or.
25 Eagle Valley.
25 Eagle Valley, thanks, Jeanette. Yeah, and if you want to do it, you want a sensory-friendly experience, you want to do it during the week, just give her a call. It is on Facebook, the number is there. But I just wanted to mention that because she does it every year, and it's fantastic, it really is, and people just rave about it. So I am sorry, but thank you.
No, that's fine. And just for the board members to know, my stocking will be on my door, so.
Oh, well then Jen, we know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's
And the bottle.
And I don't have a coal-fired heating system in my house, so,
It's not cold.
okay. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, have a great night.
Thank